I'm in LA on a road trip with my daughter who has a gym competition this weekend at Disneyland Hotel. And we're visiting grandparents. And it's so beautiful. It must be 70 degrees or something down here, which is really nice because we've had a lot of rain recently. So it's nice to have this beautiful weather. And it's really great to spend time with my daughter and create a lot of magic moments. I guess no pun intended. That's like probably a Disneyland phrase or something. And yeah, it's just really great to have this time together. I noticed that I have a little something in the bottom of my spine area in my back, and I felt it months ago. And whatever it is, it feels like a little fluid-filled sac or something. So I'll need to get that checked out when I get back home. Uh, yeah, I spoke to a friend recently who also has breast cancer, and she basically was diagnosed level 4 when she first was diagnosed, and she went through chemo, and I'm surrounded by barking dogs, and the chemo got rid of the tumor in her spine. It was in her bones, and from what I've heard, really, once it goes into the bones, it's really hard to get rid of. So it's really encouraging because that's been a fear for me, especially with radiation upcoming, exposing my bones to the radiation. So it's on my mind. It's hard to, um, ex- it's hard not to worry, I guess, is what I want to say when there's anything that's going on. I had something going on in my eye. It was in my lower lid. It feels like it's mostly resolved. The medical oncologist gave me something for allergy. He said it looks like an allergy, but then again, he's medical oncology is not ophthalmology, so he's always reluctant to diagnose, which is probably for the better. Um, but it's really hard not to imagine that these things are somehow connected to cancer. I just keep reading all these stories about people who you wouldn't imagine. A 29-year-old that got a cancer diagnosis said she had a year to live. It was Ewing's something, Ewing apostrophe S. And she did chemo, and it looked like they got it all, meaning that she had a total pathological response, and um, it came back even harder. So I know a lot of people who are anti-conventional medicine would say, oh, that's probably the chemo, and we just don't know. We really don't know. And I had somebody else write to me on one of these videos who has a slightly different diagnosis, but she said that she's getting a hard time from some of her friends for considering doing conventional. She had surgery already, and it makes me kind of mad. I get it. I get why people want to give their opinion, and whatever we believe is what we believe, and we want other people to adopt our same beliefs, and you can't do that, really. I mean, you can try, but nobody, nobody knows what they do until they get into the position, and that's just the simple fact of it. I saw somebody that I know where I live recently who's been going all alternative, and it's been doing 2 years, and she's had it metastasize. It looked like it was under control, and she attributes it to the stress in her life and a lot of difficulty that she had to deal with. And I mean, how do you know what to attribute any of it to? Is it stress related? Is it the fact that you're doing chemo and having chemicals? Is it the fact that you're not doing chemo and not doing enough? I mean, it's such a hard path, and it's really helpful to have people on our side in our court while we go through it, because it's difficult. Even just hanging out here, I'm with my dad. He showed me a picture that I don't even remember taking, but it was the day of surgery, and oh my God, I just looked like the biggest wreck ever, like an 80-year-old woman. And it's like, if I knew what chemo would do to me, like in terms of how I felt about myself and how I looked, I don't know. I get why it's a tough pill to swallow. It's just aged me in so many ways, and that's not the most important thing, but it definitely has an impact on the quality of life. So I get why people don't want to do it, and I do feel like I am feeling better. I mean, my hair is growing and starting to get more elasticity in my skin and a little bit more moisture, but it's still really hard. I'm looking at my skin on my hands, and I'm also 44. It's not like I'm, going backwards in years, so of course these things are going to happen. But it does seem like chemo probably sped up some of these kind of regular aging things that happen. But again, it's like I still am grateful for choosing this. I have radiation upcoming, and hopefully I'll be grateful for choosing that when the time comes, when it's all said and done. So trying to make these shorter. This is 6 minutes. I'm going to stop it here. We've got some Disney adventures to go have, and yeah, it should be fun on this beautiful day in SoCal.